Okay, how's that? Hey, Ploxard, good to see you. All right, can can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh, I think I am. Yep. All right. I think. Yep. Better now. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, the microphone needed to be plugged in. Go figure. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, thanks for joining me, guys. There was nothing else on YouTube, and I was searching for entertainment, and I figured, fuck it, I've got a fire going in the driveway. Nothing else is on. Let's uh, let's open up here. All right. So, Sorry. Thank you. Here, let me start back at the top because Captain gave me shit for this the other day. There we go. Captain Fidity leads off with a clown smiley face. Hopefully, you guys can hear me now. Hello, Captain. Captain says Spidey. Says, oh, there's the link. So if anyone wants to jump in, there's the link. Just don't be a jackass. That's the only rule. Mr. MH in the chat says, hail, Canadian Spider-Man. Hope you're well, brother. Respect to you. God bless you. Well, hey, may the force be with you. Okay, and then after I welcome everybody, okay, well, that looks, standard. Mr. MH says, I can't stay for too long, just dropping in. Okay, well, hey, thanks for coming in. Just wanted to light the fire here. Just going to get it up a little bigger than it is right now. Sorry, Canadian Spider-Man, I think you're muted. I was because the microphone here wasn't plugged in. My bad. You'd think I'd know what I was doing here. Bloxard says, hail. Hail to you. Thine audio has been found lacking, and you shall be punished accordingly. No, he didn't say that, but that was improvisation. Mr. MH says, yeah, audio's good. Ploxard says, better now. Mr. MH says, I can hear you now. Good to have you all here. Thank you. Please share the stream. If you know anyone else that's up this hour, or perhaps they live in New Zealand, hearing the tonight is clearly. Ploxard says, you win the internet. Well, it's a hard battle, but many lives were lost. Ploxard says, had been viewing the copyright strike movie 4 hours and 20 minutes of memes. 4 hours and 20 minutes of memes. 420. You don't say. Interesting numbered, Ploxard. Interesting numbered, Ploxard. I am declining your generous authorization offer of plan penalization. Authorization? That's not even a word. I'm declining. Mic is plugged in and operational. Thank you, Ploxard. Joe's Atmosphere. Hey, I caught you the other day, man. You've got a good channel. You've got some good stuff going on. I hope to see more of you. Thanks for being here. Joe's Atmosphere says, sounds great. Mr. MH says, may the force be with you too, Canadian Spider-Man. That's my go-to line, man. I guess I can join you for a bit if you like. Absolutely. Let me put it in the stream in case you missed it. There you go. Join in anytime you like. Dun, dun, dun. All right. I'm going to stoke up although it seems to be pretty good. Going pretty good, but I'm going to stoke it up. Hang on there. Bear with us, chat. All right, that was a big piece of birch bark I put on there. See this piece of birch bark? I'm saving this. That's a lot of birch bark right there. That is one piece of birch bark. And I don't know if you guys know much about birch bark, but it has oils in the bark, oils that like to burn. And so, I mean, it's water repellent. I mean, you can make canoes out of this. You can anything water repellent, but the oil burns. And yeah, as you can see, oh, that's going to make a massive fire. Yeah, that's going pretty good. All right. Show that. And then we have that. Joe's atmosphere in the chat says, "K, I'll jump in a minute." Let's check the volume. Let's hopefully. Oh, well, my volume's way too low. Sorry, folks. Let's pump that up. I'm hoping you can hear the crackle of the fire. You tell me. Can you hear? I mean, it's pretty big. Can you hear this? Ploxard in the chat says, "Campfire X is operation within established parameters." Hey, thanks. It works. Molecular Arts. Hey, good to see you. Yo to you. Hail Molecular Arts from Ploxard. Ploxard says hello. Molecular Arts says hello back. Greetings all around. What time is it over there? It's like 1 a.m. here. I hear the yellow and orange. All right, well, that's good. Flame is good. Yeah, I'm glad you can hear it. Okay, that was the whole point. So let's share this out on Twitter. Let's tweet this out and see if we can get some more people in here. And you're all welcome to join the stream. Yeah, there we go. One in the morning, folks. Yeah. And I have stuff to burn. There's a lot of debris here. I don't know if you've heard, but Alberta, next door to us, has a lot of forest fires going on right now. We've got unseasonably warm weather, and so it's led to a big forest fire danger here in British Columbia and Alberta. Oh, let's get some light going on here. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we have some unseasonably warm weather here in British Columbia and Alberta. Forest fire danger is up alarmingly high quite early. And so it looks like maybe perhaps only the next couple of days are going to be good for having any fires of any kind. So now's the time. I guess now's the time. This is not vodka. This is water. So I guess if you're in Alberta and BC, now is the time to have a fire. Because I suspect we're going to have a fire ban before long. Ploxard in the chat says, "Cast ye net for additional crew." I'm trying to. Anyone that wants to come up, you're more than welcome. 6:10 p.m. here in Sydney. Sydney is one of my favorite cities in the world. My brother lives over in Bunbury in Western Australia. So that's, I mean, there's not a lot. Yeah, you've got to fly through the center there, but you know, that's a 6-hour flight. Yeah, love Sydney. I wonder if Harry's Cafe de Wheels is still there. I had a, a pea floater there once. You know, the meat pies, the Australian meat pies with the mashed potatoes and the mushy peas, pie floater. Harry's Cafe de Wheels in Sydney, right there by the naval docks. It was parked by the naval docks at the time. That was awesome. One of the morning, noted, says Ploxard. It is. It's 1:13 now. Ploxard, Flames of Solidarity. You are highly patriotic Canadian Spider-Man. I am. Although, yes and no. I've traveled a lot, and I'm certainly not patriotic to the point where I think Canada is the best country in the world. Even when I was a kid, it wasn't. I've lived in a few different countries around the world, and there's a lot of great cultures, a lot of great countries out there. You know, I'm not tied necessarily to Canada. I mean, Nicaragua springs to mind immediately. Australia used to before the last 3 years. Now I'm kind of not interested in Australia anymore, but there's a lot of great countries out there. Portugal. Love Portugal. Due to La Nina. It's warmer due to La Nina. I'm not sure. I don't know, but for whatever it is, for whatever reason, I mean, Canada needs to be warmer. I appreciate. I just was watching the internet the other day and YouTube, of course, and 20 times more people die to cold than heat. So bring on the warmth is what I say, and I believe that statistic. I mean, oh, and we have a guest, Joe's Atmosphere.
Hey,
welcome.
Man.
Hey, welcome. Just burning some fire.
I see that, man.
Yeah.
You like doing this. You must have a good piece of land you can do that on, huh?
I do, man. And it's what we do around here to prevent the buildup of fuel in the surrounding forest, because if a forest fire comes through and you're just leaving fuel in the forest, you know, and by fuel, I mean like drops.
Yes,
branches,
absolutely.
Leaves.
Yeah.
You're going to
sounds like the state of California could learn a lot from you.
That we're burning every day here. So let me just try. Do you mind if I just add some fuel to the fire here?
Do your thing, man. Do your thing.
Awesome. The lighting here is terrible. I'm working with what I've got. So
you're great, man. I just figured I'd come say hi.
Thank you.
You caught me up working, and I was checking out.
Say, what are you doing up at this hour? I mean,
well,
I don't sleep,
my two major streaming days are a Wednesday and Thursday, and I'm on till midnight, and I ran a little long tonight, and then the guy that came on my gaming stream tonight wanted to stay a little longer, so I was up late working. I'm putting chapters in my videos and stuff. So
yeah, I see your game. I'm not much of a gamer, but more of a hockey player, but I see your gaming streams all the time. And is that a big part of what you do?
No, it's just it's my way of staying in gaming. I've gotten so busy now. Well, go ahead and tend to your fire, and I'll talk to you about it in a minute.
I don't know if there's an echo, but I've taken off the earphones and I can hear you now.
Okay, that's fine.
So you keep going.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm so busy now with working on the comic book and doing the YouTube thing, and of course I got a 40-hour week job, so. You know, this is just my way of keeping my hands into one of my passions. I love video gaming. So, you know, this is the only time I get to do it now.
Does it take a lot of your time? It does take a lot. YouTube takes a lot of time, doesn't it?
YouTube does take a lot of time. It's a lot more work than people think. If you want to, if you're trying to make a decent channel and something
that's here.
Is she? Cool.
Yeah. No, and it's a wonderful community here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. I'm enjoying it. I'm actually coming up on my in about 3 days. It'll be my first year anniversary of actually streaming. I started on Twitch. I didn't do it as much here. I mean, my channel's been around since 2009, but it was mostly for video gaming, you know?
Okay.
So, but doing it full time, I guess you'd say. I just started last year, so Hey,
Good to see you,
Six.
Six.
Good to see you.
Yep.
See her all over the place.
You
But
know
yeah, it's
what?
a great
She's
bunch
been
of people.
around. She for at least I want to say. I mean, I've known her for 2 years anyway, and
Hmm.
she's a moderator of high respect on a couple of very distinguished
I
channels.
see her a lot on the pop culture minefield. I do a lot of work with Gary over there, and she
Okay.
shows up there a lot. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
don't. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen Six on a channel where she wasn't a moderator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
She's
that
a moderator everywhere.
I mean, that says something right
She's a
there.
very trusted person.
I was going to say professional. Yeah.
Yes, professional.
Unlike some of us.
Yeah. Well, I try to be, but hey, I think the best thing you can do doing this is just be yourself. That's
Hey,
the
like it
main
arts.
thing. That's the main thing.
Well, I
Man.
think people come to my channel for the fire. I think you don't get a lot of fire on a lot of channels.
They
And
come
it's
to your channel for
primal.
you, man. Don't
It's a
be acting
primal
like
thing.
that. They come to see you, man.
Well, I
I
do
know
like.
I come to see you. 'Cause,
Hey, thanks, man. I really
well,
appreciate
you're
that.
enjoying yourself, and that look what people are
You've only
looking
got
for.
one trip around,
That's
this
it.
life, right?
That's
So,
it. Yeah. The
yep.
whole reason why I started doing it on a regular
Foxes,
basis is
Celtics.
look, Spider-Man. I was
True.
in
Tell me,
manufacturing.
Steve. If it's easier, you can call
What
me
is it?
Steve.
Steve. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll leave it up to you with what I call you. It's your channel. But
Either way.
yeah.
Either way.
But I was in manufacturing for many years, and COVID shut down the plant that I was in. I was a
Yep.
furnace tech for a glass plant in northern Louisiana. And you know what? Whenever that happened, I sat there on my severance and I remodeled this room right here for me and my wife. Half of it's for her crafting studio and
Okay.
half of it's for me. That's my drawing table behind me.
That's
And
fair. That's
you know,
fair.
and I told myself, I said, you know what? You got fewer days ahead than you have behind. I'm 57 now,
Oh, I'm 51. Don't say that, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm
turned
just
51
saying,
last week.
hey, we're on the downslope. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
It's true. You're not
No,
going to
it's
live
not.
forever, Big Daddy.
You never know.
Be realistic. But I said I'm going to do what I want to do, and I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to do a comic book, and finding time to do all of it is what I'm struggling with, especially the comic book.
But it's about priorities, right?
Yeah.
What's important?
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
about priorities.
Absolutely. Yep.
And clearly you've established yours.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm having a good time.
What have you got behind you, man? That's amazing. Those are obviously.
Well, these are posters that I made for a Comic-Con here last year to promote my comic book. So, hang on a second. I'll show you real quick. Hang on.
Can you please?
Yeah. This is America's Pirate Patriot, the privateer.
Oh, wow.
You notice the 13 stars in a circle on his back?
I certainly do.
He was a pirate during the American Revolution. Okay. And he got brought to the future. It's a long story, which I'm in the middle of telling in a comic book form. I've been writing.
We need Captain Infinity here right away if you're talking about the future.
Yeah.
He was here. He popped in. Yeah.
Did he? Yeah, I know he's the time traveling guru, but
don't get him started.
My whole story with him is he I'm trying to, with the book, like right now I'm doing his origin story. Yep, and right. I'm doing a lot of research on it because I'm a big fan of American Revolution stuff, and I'm trying to actually teach some stuff because you don't know what they're teaching in schools anymore. So I'm trying to put a little bit of history in it too. So
it's funny because my last job was repairing floor cleaning equipment and dishwashing equipment in schools, and I did get to see I eavesdropped on what's going on in schools, and it's not awesome.
Yeah,
it's not awesome.
Yeah,
math and geography seem to be.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
See, I took pre-calculus in high school just because I knew we were going to have to pick up a book.
I took it 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
3rd time's the charm, right?
Yep, exactly. But Yeah, I'm trying to teach a little history in it, and
History is the most important subject.
his story is that his father was taken away from him at the age of 12. Of course, he was born on the 4th of July of 1750. Now he's got to be born on the 4th of July. He's the all-American pirate, right?
That was a decent movie too.
yeah, but it's hard to watch. Man.
Tom Cruise.
That one is. Oof. That's
so
one of those movies.
So pirates aren't normally heroes, though, are they?
No, they aren't. But this guy, he's a little different. Okay, his dad got yanked out of his life at the age of 12, and I got this part of the story from back when Disney actually made some cool stuff. One of my favorite, still to this day, my favorite Disney movie is a movie called Dr. Sin, alias the Scarecrow. I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
No,
it's an older movie.
Scarecrow,
it had Batman. What was the actor's name that was in that? I'm trying to remember. I'll have to look it up. But anyway, he's a great actor. He was on The Prisoner. Red Shirt uses him as his icon a lot of the time. Yep. It's that same actor. He plays Dr. Sin in it. And I was struck by... I
only get through the first 2 episodes of The Prisoner. I'm sorry. I know it's good, and Doomcock loves it, and everybody else loves it. And
I've never seen it myself.
In the chat says, which are the unoriginal colonies? Original colonies.
Are the unoriginal colonies? Original colonies.
Well, Ploxer says they're original colonies.
The original colonies, there was 13 of them.
The original colonies.
You know what?
Is that a statement or a question?
Right. Which are the unoriginal colonies? Well, I know the state I live in actually took up half of the United States at one point. Hail Captain Finity,
there were 13 original colonies, right?
Yep, there was 13 of them.
Right. I know Maine and New Hampshire
Maine, New Hampshire, Connecticut.
Right. Vermont.
Let's see. Vermont. There was, of course, Virginia was one of them. West Virginia. God, I'm not even counting as I go. The Carolinas, North and South.
Oh, North and South. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Massachusetts, New York. I know Pennsylvania was one of them.
New York, of course, New York would be one.
Pennsylvania was one of them because the original capital of the United States was in Philadelphia.
Punctuation adds to the humor, says Ploxer. Yeah, it does. You're not wrong.
Yeah. I don't. I'd have to look up and double check everything, but Captain, it's pretty much the East Coast
here,
states.
Or
really,
Ploxer, if you want to jump in, here's the. Here it is.
There it is.
Do you mind? Please carry on with. I know there are 13 states. And I don't think they carry on like up to Michigan. Like it's not out Detroit.
No. It's not that far in. No. It's the East Coast,
and it's not as far as Texas.
No,
or Georgia even.
I don't even think Kentucky was one of them. I don't think Tennessee was. It's pretty much the East Coast, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to insert some things in there, like for instance, the reason why his father's taken away from him at the age of 12 is they had what they had was these press gangs. They'd send. Go ahead. Yeah. They'd send these naval members of the
press gangs. You mean what's happening in Ukraine right now with the Ukraine military?
Where they would come into the colonies with a group of enlisted guys, and they would beat. They would basically throw a bag over these guys' heads and drag them off to the Navy.
Yes.
That's what they would do.
Man, I'm going to identify as a woman immediately.
Look out.
How do you think that worked with the press gangs in the 1800s, right?
That didn't work with that, man.
I identify as a woman. I'm Klinger. I'm fucking Klinger. No, it didn't work.
But
Can you imagine?
I've got that in the story. I've got... he's actually from Marquis, Maine, which is the actual site of the very first naval battle of the American Revolution. It was a bunch of townsfolk that were tired of being pressed into service, guarding these boats whenever they'd be dropping off supplies. And one time when they were leaving, a bunch of them got pitchforks and planks of wood for armor and went and took the boat after it left, on their own boats. So... I'm inserting stuff like that in there. You know what I mean? For people to look up and stuff. So, Yeah,
But
I'm
that's
enjoying I've been writing the story for like it actually started as a treatment for a film script is what I started it as. Uh, I
I
guess
didn't
back in the
even know
late
what treatment
90s.
was before I joined the YouTube community during COVID because
Really?
of Script Doctor and Doomcock and
Hmm.
Captain Finity. I didn't even know what a treatment was.
Yeah.
George Lucas treatments. What you mean he had he had syphilis or something? Uh,
Yeah. It's yeah,
no,
right.
I've learned so much from this community because we have so many talented people, writers and actual script doctors and so forth.
Hmm. Yeah.
And the normies, hopefully, they're coming around to our vocabulary and our way of thinking. But there's
Don't
this
bank
last,
on it, man.
yeah.
There's a lot of people that'll buy anything they see. So, I mean, what you gonna do? But
Oh,
the
if you're
pendulum.
that's
It's been my experience. I know you're pretty close to my age. It's been my experience that pendulum swings
51.
back
Yeah.
and forth. I mean, it goes in cycles.
Yes.
That's what I try to tell
Yep.
people. I don't know about you, but I'm a glass half full guy, and
It's the only way to be.
there's a lot of people
Otherwise, this life
griping
is
about
pretty
things
miserable.
today, but I mean, it's like, okay, I was at work one time, Steve, and I'm sitting there, and this guy, and this is back when, shoot, I can't remember. I think Bush was in office, and I was at
Oh,
work, and he
the
was
rich
griping about,
push.
Bush and gas prices and all this stuff, and he was about my age, and we are with a bunch of 20-year-olds, right, out in the smoking area at work, and I looked at him and I said, "Hey, bud, can you buy gas every day of the week right now?" And he kind of ducked his head. He said, "Yeah, Joe, we can buy gas every day of the week now." Right? And and all the young people were like, what are you talking about?" I said, "Go ahead and tell him, Tim."
That was in
And he said,
1970s.
"Yeah, there was a time
1970s
during the
gas
embargo in
prices.
the 70s when
Yep.
the day of the week that you bought gas was dictated by the last numeral in your
Yeah.
license plate. If it was an
And that
odd number, you were Monday, Wednesday, and Friday guy. If it was an
in the
even number,
States,
yeah,
for some reason, that didn't come to Canada. I
yeah,
have no idea why that didn't come to Canada.
yeah. That probably politics. It was probably
Probably
just
politics.
them holding down oil just for us. I mean, you don't know. We don't know.
No, no.
So, but yeah, I told him that I was like, "Can you
Oh,
buy
check
gas
it
every day
here.
of the week?" And he was like, he quit bitching right then. He was like, "Yeah."
Of
And
course.
I
Yep.
said, "Dude, it's been worse, and it'll get better. Don't worry about it."
You know what? It is a pendulum, and
Hmm.
that's why I keep faith. And I am definitely a glass half full, and
Yeah,
I'm glad you phrased it like that because yeah,
yeah,
without that, I mean, what's the point of
right.
even
What's the
trying,
point of
right?
anything? I mean, if you don't have
Exactly.
that, I
Exactly.
mean, yeah,
So,
man.
do you mind if we read some chat here?
All right, go for it, man.
Let's pay attention to the chat.
Yeah,
Floxard says, "Hail, Captain Finity." He also continues with lack of punctuation adds to the humor. It does, right? Wasn't there was it Saturday Night Live or one of the comedy sketch shows that read lines, famous lines, but they changed the punctuation or left it out, and
yeah, yeah. My
hilarity
my
ensued.
my favorite punctuation faux pas is in that what's that movie with oh god, it's failing me now. The Anchorman.
Oh, Ron Burgundy,
Ron
Legend of
Burgundy.
Ron
Yeah.
Burgundy with the
Who
anchor
put a
man.
question mark on the teleprompter? I am Ron Burgundy. Who put a question
That's
mark on the
awesome. That
teleprompter?
is so awesome.
Yeah, it's
Captain Finley
great.
says hello to Ploxard.
Hmm.
And Keck, hey, Keck 44 is here. Hello. I've known Keck 44 because of the Doomcock chat, maybe for 4 years now, three,
I'm
4 years.
meeting some of these people for the first time. I know Captain Finity and I know Six, but some of these
You
people I
should
don't know.
Keck is around the internet quite a bit. So if you don't know
Mhm.
Keck 44,
Yeah,
he or she, or if they identify as an attack helicopter, whatever they are,
whatever it is, right?
you will see Keck 44 around the internet quite a bit.
Hmm.
Ploxard, of course. And
They're all saying hi to each other.
greetings.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good.
Yeah.
Glad. Hey, at least I was up at this time and there was nothing else on the YouTubes, and I figured, oh well, let's just start up a stream and There's 4 people that showed up.
Yep.
So right now, the viewers outnumber the panelists by a factor of 2.
Yeah, that's only because they haven't got on. Because
And-
it's in the
and
chat.
Fire. I think the fire has a lot to do with it.
Is that what it is?
People
Are they
are
afraid of the
drawn
fire?
to fire, man. They're just drawn to fire.
Well, maybe you should put it
primal
on
thing.
full screen.
It's a primal thing. I know, but you have an incredible selection of things behind you. Carefully chosen, no doubt.
That is all.
You know exactly what's behind you, don't you?
Yeah, that's all stuff from Comic Cons. My wife and I collect autographs. I mean, that's only half of what's. You're only seeing what's behind me. I mean,
Right.
the stuff over my head right now. If you
Is that
were a
the
football
chocolate-
fan, I've got like 12 8x10s all on plaques, all signed. I got a Joe Namath,
Right.
Deion Sanders, Steve Young, Joe Montana. I mean, the list goes on. I got a bunch of them. My favorite one is my Dan Marino and Drew Bledsoe,
Ooh.
and it's signed by
He
both
was
of
with
them.
the Dolphins. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm familiar with.
Mhm.
I like a lot of the players of football. Not a
Mhm.
huge fan of the sport of because you can run out of bounds and say like, "Don't hit me, and yeah. So, but other than that, I really enjoy football. And some of
Are
those
you
guys,
are you like the rest of your countrymen? You a hockey fan?
of course.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
big fan.
We're down to what, 8 teams now in the playoffs?
I prefer to I play it more than I watch it. I really don't. I don't even know what the playoffs is about. I
Okay.
play it.
Okay,
You know, out here when the pond freezes over.
I see.
I don't really watch it that much.
Really,
Keck in the chat says just a keck.
just a kick.
Okay,
That's what we said.
fair enough. Oh, he does not he does or he or she, whichever they are, does not identify as man, female,
Just
or
a
shack
kick.
helicopter. Just a keck.
Just a kick.
All right,
There
fair
you
enough.
go.
We will continue. Keck 44. Bloxford says math down to the flames of maths or campfire.
Okay.
The birch
Sounds
bark.
good.
We got some good birch bark here. Initials. Oh, so Keck 44. KEK's initials. All right. Cool.
I'm not even going to speculate
Yeah.
what that could be.
Yeah. Hard to say.
The
Ooh.
last name starting with K.
I'm going to have a hard time sleeping because I'm going to be thinking of initials for
Don't,
Keck.
man. Don't let that.
Thanks,
Don't
Keck.
give.
That's awesome.
Don't give it that kind of energy, man. Don't
I'm
do
kidding.
that.
I'm
Don't let your
No,
mind.
but I've known Keck for maybe 2 years at least, maybe more than 2 years. It could be going on 3 now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting. It's funny how, I know the personality, but I don't know. It could be a girl, could be a woman, could be a dolphin, and I don't care either way. Could be a male dolphin that identifies as a female ballerina. I don't care. Whatever. You do you. Just don't tell me about it. I don't want to know.
I hear you.
So 44. I liked my 40s. I'm in my 50s now, but I enjoyed my 40s. They were good because, as you know, Joe's, you get respect. I mean, people actually give you some credibility because of your experience.
Because you've been around for a little bit.
Around the block. No doubt. You voted in a few, you've seen a few prime ministers come and go,
Yeah, a few presidents in my case, but
few presidents, yeah.
Mhm.
I don't remember Nixon. I was alive during Nixon. I don't remember Nixon.
Oh, I remember the day I was
I remember the Reagans.
I was 7 years old when he got on the helicopter and left the White House. I remember that. My mother cried that day. Yeah,
I was born in 72.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So but of course
you wouldn't remember that at all. Yeah, I was a little young thing, but I remember her watching that on television.
No, yeah. I was more focused on Teletubbies wasn't even around then. Sesame Street, really. No. Oscar the Grouch, really.
No. What did you play with growing up? It was G.I. Joe for me. That's what I had.
It was a lot of Star Wars figures.
Yeah. That's true. I do remember getting into those in right before my teenage years.
We couldn't afford the G.I. Joe brand, but I did have the little plastic army men and the guys with the bazookas and all the poses. The
Oh,
guys.
I had the 12.
laying
I
down,
had the 12-inch posables. You could change the clothes on and
Oh.
stuff. My favorite set was the black tiger, or not black, white tiger set. You had a white tiger, a
Mhm.
campfire like you got going right there.
Yep.
A little
Which I'm
tent.
gonna
You
add to
know.
here in a second here.
Yep. Yeah, I was fixing to say it's going to be time to put something on it here in a
The
second.
only
You must
posable
be in
action
Western
figure-
Canada. Being
I
up
am.
this
Yeah,
late.
I'm
Yeah.
about 5 hours east of Vancouver, a couple hours east of Kelowna. Takes me about 6 hours to get to Calgary. So
Really?
on this side of the Rockies,
Gotcha.
on the west
Yeah,
side.
my mother lives in Allagash, Maine, which
Mhm.
if you look at a map of the United States, you know, the
I grew up
northern
in New
tip of
Brunswick.
Maine,
Mhm.
that's where she's at. She's right close to Quebec.
a vertical border.
Mhm.
Maine shares a vertical border
Sure
with
does.
Canada.
Yep. Sure
New
does.
Brunswick and Maine border, because we
Mhm.
used to go shopping at the outlet stores in Holton all the time, because I grew up in New Brunswick for 25 years.
Mhm.
And we would go from Fredericton to Holton, Maine, about 4-hour trip.
Yeah.
And there's a vertical border to Canada and America. Who knew?
Yes, sir. Sure is.
Let me
Yep.
add wood to the fire.
Yep. Go ahead, man. Yeah, guys, it's good to see you up this late at night. Like I said, I was up working, so I know he likes to drop that link in there and hang out with folks. So I figured I'd give him a few minutes of my time since I was up. I was putting chapters in my videos that my streams I did tonight. I always do that. Found out here recently that apparently you can search for when people are searching for stuff. The chapter markers actually are searchable now. So ever since I started putting chapters in my stuff, I started getting more views on the things. So it's a little bit of work, but hey, you know, it's worth it if you ask me. But just trying to make my stuff nice packaging and stuff, you know.
There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that
Oh yeah.
takes time.
Yeah. The two big shows I do every week, the State of the Atmosphere one where I have friends like you show up.
Yep. Yep.
I usually do about an hour's worth of prep for that. And but I tell you what takes me the most time is shotgunning it all over social media to let people know what's coming on.
Absolutely to advertise it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
I mean, I've gotten it down to about a half an hour. And of course, I'm putting it on like, I want to say 15 different social medias, you know?
I was going to say that's pretty efficient.
Yeah. I just write it once and then just copy and paste it, you know? So, but yeah, I'm enjoying it, man. It's a lot of fun. And you do meet some cool people. Yeah.
And I guess it's a social aspect.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not much of a computer literate kind of guy, but or streamer. I mean, I don't have TikTok. I'll never have Snapchat, nothing like that.
Mhm.
But YouTube is a really good way to meet some cool people that are interesting and they're genuine. I mean, for the most part, the streamers that I see, when they stream, when they broadcast, they're being genuine. They're being themselves, and that's refreshing. That's really good to see.
When I went, I went and you know what got me into this? I was like I said, I love video games, and I bought this WWE 2K20 game back in 2019. And man, was I upset by that thing. I spent $100 on this thing and played it for about an hour. It was so bad when it came out.
That's more
And
expensive.
I said, you know what? I'm not going to buy a video game brand new ever again. I'm going to look at reviews and stuff. And The Last of Us 2 was coming out a few years ago, right? I'm a huge fan of the first game. Big fan. Huge. Top 5 game to me. I've played it a couple of times. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to get suckered. I've got to check into this, you know. And I watched a guy from Geeks and Gamers named Jeremy. Okay.
I know Jeremy. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I watched his videos on it and I was glad I didn't buy it right away, you know.
Yep.
I still haven't finished that game. I bought it when it was cheap, a good year and a half after it come out, you know. And and I still can't bring myself to finish it because you have to play as a character I don't like personally, and but they make you play as that. So whenever
That doesn't sound like that's a formula for success.
No, it doesn't, does it? But
No.
hey, they're just they're telling a story, and it's a story they think is important. But I just didn't like what they were doing with it. But what I did was I started following Jeremy, and I started watching Friday Night Tights. And every time I watched it, these guys were like, "Look, if you have the means and you want to help, change the way entertainment goes, if you want to have an impact, get in front of a camera, let people know what you think." And I was like, and these guys are trying to get people to get on YouTube and do this, and they've got a huge show. And I was like, wow, maybe I need to go ahead and try it. And that's when I bought the computer and decided to jump into it. Yeah. And I went and met those guys. I met them in Dallas. What's that?
I mean, was it daunting? Was it intimidating at all to do that?
No. That one thing I don't have is a lot of fear. I've got, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I have self-respect. I know my limits. Dude, I'm 57. Really, I'm fucking doing what I can't do. I've done the experimentation.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not worried about it at all. But this is the thing. When I went and met those guys in Dallas last year, and if they get together this year, I'm going to go see them again too. I had a ball, and they're all just guys like us, just actually got lucky and started making money doing it, and they don't. The thing I love about this community is they don't forget where they came from. They try and help people out, and all that good stuff.
Well, because even if you get 100,000 subscribers, I mean, really, you're not. It's not like you're living the life of luxury.
No, these guys all got jobs. Yeah. No. There's very few of them like Gary that's doing it and making money at it. You know what I mean? But like Comics Division's got a job,
it pays the bills. Yep.
I've been a member of his Subscribe Star for a while. Huh? What's that?
I just do this. I just do this to meet people. I'll never, I have no aspirations of making any kind of money. I don't give a shit. I actually spend a lot of money on YouTube, and it's to support the community. And it's a great platform. Fantastic platform,
Yeah,
I love it. Do you mind reading what Keck 44 was saying?
Not at all. He says, not ancient Egyptian god, although will accept sacrifices of young women. Well,
I mean,
check it out.
Really?
Keck either identifies as a heterosexual male or a lesbian female. One of the two.
Either, we accept all here. Either one. Right. Yeah, we accept all.
East side of the Rockies, American side.
There you go. Okay, that's where Keck is. Yeah, I'm on the west side of the Rockies. I guess I'm halfway between Calgary and Vancouver, and I'm assuming you've heard of both of those cities.
Yes.
We only have 10. So
you've only got 10. Get out of town.
10.
Man.
Well, no, really. I mean, if you want to count a city more than 250,000, then we only have probably maybe less than 10. Yeah.
Yeah, I see there.
Halifax is only 100,000, I think. Just around there. 120 if you include Truro, because they've amalgamated that now. But our cities are not. But because we knew the Americans, you don't mess with the Americans. So we've spread out our cities strategically. So you guys can shoot north, and you're going to miss us like 90% of the time, man. You're going to be off with like the polar bears. You're fucked. Because we only have a couple of cities, and they're easy to miss, man.
Man.
You get a couple of bottles of beer and your navigator, and boom.
I've only been in Canada once, and it was just crossing the border. I think there was a road out up there where my mother's from, and God, it was 83, my senior year in high school.
Yep.
Actually, I'd already graduated, and we all got in a van and drove up there, and I think we had to drive up into Canada and come back down to my mother's, where my mother's people are at, because there was some road out or something like that. We had to take that route.
Flooding.
It was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wildfires. Yep.
I took my, I went up there for the first time in, good God, like 38 years. I was a young kid the last time I was there. And
let me guess, you didn't need a passport at the time.
No, I'm not talking about Canada.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about when I was a kid and we went through it? Yeah, you didn't need a passport. No, you just drove in and out. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure you do now. But
up until I was 20 something, if you had a valid driver's license,
that was good enough.
That's all you needed.
Mm-hmm.
We had an agreement. Mm-hmm. There was a very flexible border. Yeah.
Yep.
But then
I'm just sitting here reading these comments, man. This is Kex.
Okay, yeah, let's get in them. Funny. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Well, he did make a comment that Comics Division had a job and he was recently let go. And yeah, that's true. He did lose his job just recently, but he won't be out of work long. That's for sure.
No, he's
a pretty sharp cookie. That dude right there. And then he says
he had a job. He was recently let go. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Oh,
yeah, it was like a week ago or so. And then he says, really didn't want Canada hoser.
Hey, man.
Hoser.
We make the best poutine, and you've obviously never sampled true Montreal smoked meat from Montreal, because, ooh, mama, that will turn a vegetarian into a meat.
Into into a meat.
I'm gonna add to the bonfire.
Sure. Go, man. Go for it. But yeah, man, I tell you what, I don't know how you guys do it. That's a rough place, man, because if it's anything like northern Maine, that's some rough living up there. You better be prepared. That's for sure. Friggin' my uncle used to come down here and stay with us every winter because he was a biker, and he just couldn't stand the winters up there, man.
No.
He loved the hunting.
No, but that's why I spent 5 months this year in Mexico. I've just returned from Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on purpose because it's cold as hell.
Yeah.
And Maine, same as New Brunswick, it's not just a dry cold because you've got a lot of
close to the water. Yeah.
It's moist. It's a damp cold, and
and that cuts through anything. That's just like that. It's going to sound funny.
It takes days to get warm.
The 1 month it gets cold down here in Louisiana, it's the same thing because it's nothing but a swamp down here. You know, you're surrounded by water. Canadian Spider-Man is an honorary Australian.
I've spent a lot of time in Australia. I first went there when I was 15, and I've been there 5 or 6 times. I've lived there. Between 2000 and 2005, I spent more time in Australia than Canada.
Really?
When 9/11 happened, I was out on the Great Barrier Reef getting my dive certification. I came back to the docks 2 days later, and we all thought, because we didn't have the elaborate communications like we have now,
right?
So we didn't hear about it. We got back to the docks in Cairns, in Queensland, and everyone's talking about this the Twin Towers going down. We thought it was a joke. Until we saw the videos, we didn't think it was real.
Right.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Oh man, let me tell you, I'll never forget that day. I will never forget that day. I was right here at this house. My mother was here. This is the house I grew up in.
That's wonderful, man.
And she was at work. My wife had just gotten off work. She was a nurse at the time. She was working nights, and my brother was home. He had just gotten divorced, and he had come home. And my mother called from work and said, Joe, you need to turn on the TV. I said, what's up? And she said,
what's going on?
Said a plane hit one of the towers in New York. I said, oh shit. And I figured it was like a Cessna had, wrecked into one.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was an accident.
Some drunk Harrison Ford out flying again.
Right. I turn on the TV and we see the smoke and everything. And me and my brother actually were joking around. Hey, when are they going to make a movie of the week of this stuff? And Then we saw, and just to give you a little background, I'm a 3-year Army vet, and my brother was 9 years Air Force. All right. And we saw that second jet hang a left hard right into one of those buildings live. And we both looked at each other and said, dude, we're under attack. What the hell is this? Oh, that guy flew into that on purpose. You know, we knew right away after we saw that, yeah, something was going on. And it was, and then about, you know, they showed them telling Bush in that school in Florida, right, on TV. And then about an hour and a half later, I get a call from a bartending buddy of mine from the 80s. Okay. And we didn't talk very often, but we did stay in touch because I used to do artwork for him and stuff. And he calls me now. You don't know where I'm at. I'm one neighborhood away from Barksdale Air Force Base. Okay. And he calls me about an hour and a half after they showed Bush on TV. And he said, Joe, you're never going to believe what I just saw. And he lived on the other side of the base from me, on the north side of the base. Right. And I said, what, man? He said, Air Force One just came treetop high over my house with 4 F-15s in tow. I said, what? Whoa. And sure enough, 20 minutes later, he was on television from right here at Barksdale Air Force Base, a neighborhood away from me. Yeah. This is where they brought him to whenever all that shit was going on. They brought him here.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I'm sure they changed that up each.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. But they knew security was good here because, look, I tell everybody, I don't worry about a nuclear war, man. I have no concerns for a nuclear war. You know why? No. Because whenever it happens, I'm going to look at my wife and say, what was that flash? And it's going to be over with, man. I won't even know about it. I am one neighborhood away. I'm one neighborhood away from the third target on their nuclear list.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're in the countryside here. I'm about 5.5 hours east of Vancouver, like Kelowna area. We're good here for a while anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
yeah, but hopefully that never happens. We never need to find
from
out.
Your
right?
lips to God's ears. Yeah, hell yeah.
But if it happens, I've got a couch right in there for you, buddy.
Got you, man. Got you.
Let's see what the chat is saying. Keck44 in the chat is saying, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. That's how that goes. Do you know that Australian chant? Any sports, anytime you get Australians around, whether it's a sporting event or a tournament, you got a bunch of Australians. All you have to do is yell, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. and the response is, oi, oi, oi.
Wow, man.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They do. It's like the Canadian. Are you familiar with Bob and Doug McKenzie?
Yeah, I know. Of course I am.
Rick,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're okay. You're the same generation. Yeah. What is it? Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas.
Yep.
Bob and Doug McKenzie, Canadian icons, and they had their chant. You know.
And then they went an octave lower.
And the answer was right. Yep. So, and I've been with a foreign girlfriend in Canada somewhere, and I've gone out. Like I think it was during the 2010 Canucks playoff run for the hockey, and I went out in public and I went, and some random guy from over the end was.
He heard it. Yep. Knew what to do.
What happened?
That's it.
So it's the same with Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Yep.
Good to have you here, Keck. Although I didn't know Keck was Aussie. I'm not sure that Keck is Aussie.
Yeah.
Seconded, Mr. MH.
Seconded. Yeah.
Oh, because Mr. MH says Spider-Man is an honorary Australian. Well, I do know a lot of Australian culture. I know about cricket. Don Bradman, greatest cricket player in history, apparently is Don Bradman. And if you want to be an Australian, he's British, but it's important to cricket. And Australians are very key. They're more into cricket than baseball or football, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. Yeah.
Didn't know that. That's cool.
The bats are big and heavy, though. If you've ever picked up a cricket bat, You can do.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Damage.
They look like a heavyweight teacher would be using that for a paddle. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
back in
it's
the
a big
50s.
one.
Absolutely. And there's greetings all around from Mr. MH.
Mhm.
Can you read this, please, Joe?
Keck 44 captures the level of apathy of Oz. Okay. There you go.
All
Level
right.
of apathy for Oz. There you go.
I like their
Eh.
cheer. The Aussie, oi, oi, oi. I kind of like that. And we have smiling going to laughing. Canuck response is A, oi, A. I'm going to add some fuel to the fire.
Go, man. Go.
It's kind of what I do.
You go. That's what you got to do, man. Right? You're trying to keep it's a controlled burn, is what we would call that down here. Trying to make sure your place doesn't go up in flames if there's a spark that gets out of hand. That's something that I don't understand why they don't have more controlled burns in California. Do what now?
I was saying Australia has a lot of controlled burns.
Yeah, I would think they would have to.
Have you heard of Banff National Park?
No.
Banff is spelled with 2 F's. It's it's in the Rocky Mountains area, and it's a pretty big national park. And they had a controlled burn there just last week.
Mm-hmm.
Led to massive forest fire. It
Really?
got out of control. It needed 5 helicopters to come and put it out.
Damn.
Well, they're doing it in, what is this, the middle of May. They did it way too late.
Mm-hmm.
Get this. It was the first ever, I think it was some sort of affirmative action, women and affirmative people in firefighting. None of them had the proper training. They went in and they wanted to push it before the Liberals had a national convention in Vancouver. I think it was it Vancouver? Anyway, they had a national convention just last week. They wanted, my theory is they wanted to push this ahead, get her done, so they could present this to the convention, the Liberals, the left,
right?
Hey, this is identity politics in motion. Here we have this successful fire. Yeah, they lit the forest on fire.
Didn't quite. Wasn't the success they were counting?
Not so much. Well, they really were in over their heads. They weren't really qualified, apparently, and the proof is in the pudding. It took 5 helicopters to put out the forest fire.
Wow.
And Alberta's I don't know if you've heard the news from where you are, but Alberta has been on fire for a couple of weeks now. They're having provincial elections, and they're talking about how to conduct them during, there's a massive evacuations. They've got 100 forest fires going on, and it's like a month before forest fire season.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty messed up down there. Yeah.
Is it warmer than it usually is? Is it warmer than it usually is this time of year up there right now?
It is. This weekend, starting tomorrow for the next week, it's supposed to be 27 degrees Celsius. That is summertime weather. That's high 80s.
Mm-hmm.
That's not normal. Bring it on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not normal. Not for an area that's not that's used to much cooler temperatures. That's when you're going to get fires and stuff.
That's why I'm having,
especially if you're not getting rain. I
might not be allowed to have this. Not like we have any cops around here. But
are you getting any rain?
No rain since last week. No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. See, those two things right there. Yeah, that's a dangerous combination right there.
American.
If you're getting rain, then you don't have to worry about it. But if you're not getting any rain,
no, not so much. Wow. No. We had rain last week, but it comes in fits and starts. Do you mind reading this from Mr. MHA?
No
Mr.
problem.
MH, please.
No problem. Australian rules football, cricket, and rugby are the dominant sports. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Australian rules football. Now, I was watching somebody playing a video game for Australian rules football. That looks pretty. I'm going to have to check into that. Because I was watching. There's a guy named Charlie on YouTube. I don't know if you've watched this guy or not. The Moist Critical. He does reviews and stuff, and he talks a lot about the internet and video games. And he was playing in an Australian rules football game, a video game, and he was clueless. He didn't know how to play it. It looked like it was a mixture of basketball and soccer and all kinds of shit. I was like, whoa.
Well, the Australians make up rules as they go. I mean, that's
man. It looked pretty wild. I'll have to look into it because, like, at one point he was sitting there and he was running with the ball, and all of a sudden it just stopped. And he's like, "What's wrong?" And somebody told him in the chat, said, "You can only run 8 paces, and then you've got to
drop
pass it or kick or bounce it on the ground. You have to do something with it." He was like, "Damn."
Forms of Australian rules football where you can't throw the ball forward. You've got to throw it sideways, and they've got to run it for. It's very complicated. It's, I was told the rules, but there was beers involved, and as there are. So Keck 44 says south of Calgary in Colorado. Oh man, Colorado.
Colorado. Colorado. Is that a hybrid of California and Colorado?
Yeah. I think it is. Yeah. Well, better. Yeah. Okay.
That's cool.
That sounds okay. I bet you he might be a snowboarder. There's a lot of snowboarding in that area. That whole triangle, the Bermuda snow triangle of Colorado, California, Calgary. Yeah.
Do you do any snow skiing?
The last time I skied was 1987. But I've been snowboarding. I lived in Whistler Ski Resort, which is the number one ski resort in all of Canada.
I got you.
Lived there 20 years. So I did a lot of snowboarding there. But I've had my fill. You know what I noticed? You don't see a lot of bikinis on the ski hills.
No.
Scuba diving. I switched from
snow bunnies are cute and everything, but yeah, you're not seeing any bikinis. No.
You can hide. My youngest brother, shout out to Patrick. He's living in Western Australia in Bunbury right now. Beautiful area.
Yeah.
And he moved to Whistler. Although he was younger than me, he left the nest and moved out to BC before I did. And he got there, and I was learning the ropes from him. And the first thing he said was, "Never pick up a girl on the ski slopes. You can hide a lot in a snowsuit."
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, for sure. Yep.
And Tech 44 says Australian rules football was broadcast for 4 or 5 months here. Loved it. There's a movie, Unnecessary Roughness, I think, with Scott Bakula and captain of the Enterprise. Unnecessary Roughness, and I think he was a quarterback. And there was this Australian guy that came to be part of the sort of the Unacceptables sort of football team,
right? And
this Australian guy came, and he refused to wear football equipment, and he just played without equipment. He got
it's been a long time since I saw that movie. Yeah,
you know the movie I'm speaking of.
Yes, I do. I know of it. It's been a long time since I think, if I remember correctly, didn't they have a girl for a kicker too on that team?
With big legs, nice leg. Yes, they did.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I saw that one, but
yes, sir. Yes, they did.
Yep.
Yes. Wow. You can do a lot of damage with a cricket bat.
I would imagine those things are huge, man.
Man, it's like
and they're not thin.
That's kind of
if I've seen it correctly.
Where did he find an icon of that?
Yeah. Right.
That's not a normal icon, is it?
I don't know.
I don't
know. Let me see if I can find it.
No,
real quick.
Captain Finity, hats off to you.
Let's see what we got here.
I'm gonna add some more wood. I'm freezing my ass off here. I'm gonna
go, man. Go. I'm looking to see.
I'm gonna add wood.
See if there's. Yep. If you type in cricket, there's one right there. Yeah.
What do you?
It's on there.
Type in to find icons?
Yeah. Of course you can.
Jesus Christ.
Well, you told me. I wasn't listening. Yeah. All you have to do when you're on your computer, right below where you type in your chat, there's a little emoji face. You just click on that, and a search bar will come up, and it says search emojis on it, and you just type in what you're looking for.
You mean as opposed to scrolling all down through them, which is what I do all the
time?
Right.
You could just search it. Look,
you know how many hours of my life I've wasted because I didn't know that?
Well, now you know. What is it? What is the old saying on TV? Doon, doon, doon. The more you know.
Oh, I love those. Yeah, the more you know, folks.
The more you know. But you type in cricket on here, and there's a picture of the bug and that. What did he put up there? Yep. Ploxard just put it up too. Yep.
Okay, well, see, we're not only entertaining, we're educational.
We're educational. That's right.
Educational.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Wow. All right. Bear with me.
You're good, man. You're good. I'm gonna be putting a wrap on it here in a minute because my wife's gonna be getting up pretty soon, wondering what the hell I'm still doing up. Because I'm 2 hours ahead of you. It's what 4:08 in the morning here. So. And yes, for those of you in the chat wondering, I am a big Supergirl fan. Yes, I am. I dig my girl. Digger. Wasn't a fan of. I mean, I watched the TV show on the CW, but I don't know. They missed an opportunity with that show. They really did. That whole thing. Actually, the thing I liked the most was Arrow. I dug that. I thought that was cool. I like Stephen Amell. Is he Canadian? I think he is. Isn't Stephen Amell Canadian? You guys let me know in the chat. I don't remember. I think he is Canadian. Let me look him up real quick. Is Stephen Amell Canadian?
There we go. Yeah. Pardon? Sorry?
Is Stephen Amell Canadian? I think he is. Yep, yeah. Canadian actor. As soon as I typed it in, it says Canadian actor.
Yeah.
I was just talking about. I was letting the chat know. Yes, you're not seeing things. I'm a huge Supergirl fan. I was patting my girls on their head.
Oh yeah.
Right here.
Okay.
And I was talking about how the TV show was okay, but I liked Arrow better, and that's why I was
really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wasn't okay. All right.
Well, Arrow was the first one on the CW that started all those DC TV shows.
Was Arrow the best?
I think it was, but then again,
yeah.
It's what I liked best out of all the stuff. I mean, a lot of people love The Flash. They love that show. I always dug Arrow. I like Flash. Of course, I like martial arts, so and it had a lot to do with that show. So.
Do you mind reading the chat from Ploxard?
Not at all.
And then we're gonna have a surprise guest. He's in the background right now.
Look out! Ploxard says found it in objects subbar within Emoji Land, below chat entry line.
Okay.
So, yep.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Mr. Tony Stark. Who
there he is. What's up, Tony?
A personal invitation just a few minutes ago.
Oh,
very nice.
I just got back out from the wasteland. I'm doing my salvaging run and compiling some notes together on Guardians 3 for a video that I plan on releasing either later today or tomorrow.
It's cool. 5 in the morning where you are, 4 in the morning.
5:11 a.m. Got to get it before the mutants do.
See, I sent this out just on a hunch. What the fuck are you doing up?
I don't go to bed for a couple of more hours. I'm a second shifter.
Apparently.
Yeah. I sat in on one of his late shows.
Stark. Mm-hmm. God bless you, Tony Stark, man.
How you guys doing today?
Fantastic. Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm about to pack it in. I'm glad you showed up because
that's good.
Yeah,
well, not good, but I'm glad I'm finally able to stream alongside you, Joe's atmosphere.
Hey, man, it's good to see you, dude. I enjoy your stuff. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm on the way to 200. I'm 10 away. That's why I'm like putting the work in.
I just hit 300 today.
Very nice. And Rod Carter, sci-fi metal guy, hit 200.
Yeah,
everybody's growing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Hey, we keep getting together like this. It won't be long. We'll get to.
I think
that magic number.
Fire.
Yeah, there you go.
Keep tracks and kittens.
It brings everybody together, brother.
Hopefully, not together.
Molecular Arts in the chat says, "What is the link to my channel?" I do not
I've
have
got
a
it.
wrench here, I don't think, but what I can do is give
No,
Canadian
Tech
Spider-Man
44.
the liaison here.
Hang on.
Yep.
Peace.
Tech 44.
No, I'm subscribed to you. I just don't remember exactly what it is.
No, it's Molecular Arts wants it.
Okay.
I know you are, Joe's, and
Yeah.
Canadian Spider-Man as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to remember.
The handle is at T Stark CEO, and I don't know why YouTube is wanting to
You know what?
give out the alien hyperlink thingamadooders.
Right.
And could just be the background radiation. I'm
Can you
still
say
in.
that
I'm
word
still in
again?
the suit
Thingamadooders?
technically.
I like the thingamadooers.
There you go. Thingamadooder, thingamajigger, whatchamacallit.
Stark of Iron. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Well,
couldn't
that's just
remember.
so people could find me and not one of them be the Grim Squeaker, if you catch my drift. So,
Gotcha.
you know.
Yep.
But I'm getting my footage downloaded from my salvage run right now. Seems to be a bit of a delay since I activated my communications with you all. But there is my channel. I am almost to 200, and once I get to 200, things are going to advance as far as my channel lore is concerned. I will be revealing my first of many arch nemesis.
Very good.
And
look out.
Yeah, I'm ready. I think
the arch nemesis, huh?
Yeah, arch nemesis. The only thing I'll give out as far as information is concerned is I did send Jarvis on a date with her or it. I don't know what it wants to be called, but I figured if they could just merge code, I could figure out exactly why the woke HQ wants to write such a crappy AI, but it kind of backfired, and it has become sapient. God help us all.
Did you say sapient or sentient?
Sapient.
He
as
said sapient.
a lot of
I don't think he stuttered. That's good, man.
Thumbs.
Oh my god!
All right, so I've literally just all of these people. I've known you for a long time. Molecular Arts, CAC 44, Ploxert. So I've made you all moderators, so you can add whatever you want. Thank you, Tony. It's in the private chat. So you feel free. I've known all you guys for a long time. Feel free to put whatever you want in the chat. Pictures of naked boobies. Go for it.
But yeah, anybody that wants to sub up is more than welcome to. I have a stream every Sunday where I just get the gang together.
Yep.
And we all just
who usually comes on? You've got a varied list of guests that come on, don't you?
I do. It could be anybody from Stephen Ransom over in the Roman circles to Canadian Spider-Man. I've had Jill and anti-derivative Jill on there. I've had Admiral Teague. I've had Dark Helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Ranker Steve occasionally comes on. We
Have you had Gary Ambrosia yet? I have failed.
Gary's a very busy man, and I'm not ready to bug him. I'm not about ready to bug him. I will in a couple of months.
No,
I'm not.
No, soon as Keck 44 definitely has a male sex organ. As soon as we mention boobies, he's all eyes.
Boom!
I'm gonna call it right now. I'm identifying you as a man. Because
congratulations, you are one of two actual genders.
Yes, there it is. One of two actual genders. Yes.
Come on, Gandwit. Don't hold out on me.
I fucking knew it.
I'll tell you what. There's only two genders. The last I checked. Now I know that some high schools are trying to do that woke crap with the textbooks having like an entire appendix dedicated to, the following genders. Let's just read them off. We got a unicorn, an F-15 Tomcat, a toaster from Macy's, a toaster from Walmart, a Walmart itself, Decepticon and a propane tank. Now they've gone too far. Damn it, Canadian Spider-Man. They're people that are identifying as tanks of God's gas. We can't have that around here no more. Damn it, that's it. I'm starting a picket line, and I'm gonna raise all kinds of cane. And
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. I thought you might be the South Park teacher there for a second, but I said no, that's the King of the Hill right there. That's him. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, dude.
That's
Yeah, the last time I watched you, you were singing some. I think it was God, Mac the Knife. I think you were singing.
oh yeah, I do sing
Played that one
songs.
down, man. Yeah.
You know, and again, I just got to give a shout out to the birthday boy in the Hollow Earth, the lordship at the Hollow Earth. I was in a very piratey mood when I recorded that part of Fet for Hire's video.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I'm sure Canadian Spidey has seen it. I'm sure you've seen it. That was my Captain Yarface, and I actually have a skull painted Iron Man helmet, a Punisher helmet that I usually wear with a captain's hat for whenever I want to be Captain Starkface.
That's cool.
That's
cool.
That is good.
Yeah, so you know, I'm like, oh,
I know you were getting into it. That's all I know. It was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
cool.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're nothing without the chat.
We're nothing without the chat. No,
Yeah, nothing without the chat.
Australian rules football is popular in Tasmania, Victoria, and South Australia, mate.
Hey,
Tasmania.
shout out to Tasmania. Some of the best scuba diving I've ever done was in Tasmania.
Really?
They've got coral kelp forests with the kelp plants coming from the bottom of, that are 30 meters tall, and you're swimming between columns of kelp.
Wow.
It's fantastic. And they've got the weedy sea dragon, which is like a seahorse, but it's a foot long, and it doesn't swim upright. It swims sideways. But
Wow.
it's definitely a seahorse.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's
so
wild,
shout out
man.
to Tasmania, Launceston Festival. Yeah, fantastic.
When I was stationed in the South Pacific, I was on a place called Johnson Island. It's long enough for an airstrip, you know, bunkers on one end, housing on the other. And we went snorkeling one time, and this gorgeous coral bowl, man. It was God. It had to be this house in radius. Okay. I mean, it was big. It was a huge bowl, and we snorkeled in it, but I got a little too close to a hole in the side of that thing, and a moray came out and said hi to me.
Oh.
I mean, right by my head.
And by hi, it meant it wanted to.
Yeah, like get the hell away from my house. Yeah.
I will bite your regulator.
No, I was snorkeling.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
He was holding his breath.
Yeah.
His regulator.
Victoria.
You know who you're talking about? You're talking about Joe's atmosphere over here. He's got the lungs of a god.
Victoria, you know what? You know what I like about Victoria? It's got the Murray River. The Murray River, and they have paddle steamer boats like on the Mississippi River on Victoria, on the Murray River, going up from Victoria. You can go up to Echuca. They've got a chocolate factory there.
No, King. Sorry, my cat.
Oh.
Well, my last name is Murray too, so I'm sort of partial to the Murray River. And Molecular Arts says in New South Wales and Queensland, rugby is king. You're not wrong. They're not really big fans of Australian rules football there. They're more into the rugby. And you've got two classes of rugby. You've got rugby union and rugby scrotum. And they are very different from each other. No, it's not really rugby scrotum. It's rugby league.
I was about to say.
No one really likes rugby league.
I don't think anybody want to play in that league. I tell you,
that.
Rugby and hockey, those are two sports played by guys that are on just a different level physically, man, because
Yes.
that's insane playing those games right there.
You can't run out of bounds. If you're going to get tackled, try running out of bounds in a hockey rink. Good
Right?
luck.
You're going to get slammed.
Oh, yeah, you are. And
Well,
I gave
you
up
know,
hockey
the
when
thing about
everyone else
hockey,
got
man,
like 6 foot.
the thing that's great about hockey, and that's
Love
one of the
Western
sports
Australia.
I've always said that one and baseball need to be seen live, because you really can't get an appreciation on television how fast these guys are going, because the camera moves with them.
Insanely fast.
Yes, it's a high collision, high speed,
Yes.
friggin' crazy ass sport.
Yep.
Man. Yep.
Sometimes they shatter plexiglass.
Yes.
The stanchions,
honey?
the plexiglass windows, sometimes they hit those so hard they shatter. You got 200 pounds going 20
God.
miles an hour.
I was fixing to say it's got to be close to 25. Yeah, it's
you're gonna
nuts, man.
shatter
They get
plexiglass.
up there. They are moving.
So Mr. MH in the chat says, and Western Australia and the Northern Territory.
Hail,
So
Mistress MH.
my little brother Patrick lives in Western Australia, and by little I mean he's like 6'2".
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's bigger than me, but he is like 4 years younger. So shout out to my brother in Western Australia. I think I'm, Queensland is a close second, but I think Western Australia might be my favorite state. The people, they're country people. They're just genuine. They're fantastic. Queensland is more. The beach is better. The scuba diving is better. The snorkeling is better. But Western Australia, you got some good people there.
Don't join me.
Tony, your computer dude, would you mind translating this, please?
UNICEF. UNICEF. Unicode U plus
You do
1
speak
F3.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've read Unicode. Let me get that typed in and into one of my.
Well, while you're doing that, look, I got to tell you guys good night, because I'm about to fall over.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Hey, thanks, Joe.
Hey,
good night, Joe.
Thanks for having me. You guys take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time, okay?
You're welcome anytime.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Talk to you later. And you take care of yourself, Tony. Don't get in too much trouble.
Oh, no. You got the mutants and the robots and the nuclear
I know
fallout.
for you to stay out of trouble, but try. Okay, man? Try.
The alcohol.
Talk to you later. Bye.
This is not coffee, folks. This is wine, by the way.
Wow. Canadian car bomb.
Can you read this, Tony?
Small fringe minority, Freedom Convoy 2022, the year of our
Fucking
Lord.
rights. Do you know what that's about, son?
I do not know what that's about, my friend.
That was the Freedom Convoy that went to Ottawa with all the truckers, and Trudeau hid for 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. As of the let's see here, the Unicode.
Yeah.
Yes, HTML.
I speak Spanish.
Yeah, that's just an HTML
French,
tree.
English, barely.
Greek stallion, Persephone.
Persephone. If you've watched the Beachcombers,
Persephone, not Persephone, not
okay,
Hades.
Persephone was the name of the boat. That was a tough little boat.
That was
there we go. Ploxerd is. Are you familiar with Beachcombers?
No.
Okay, Molly's Reach actually exists, but in the chat, Ploxerd says found in object subbar with emoji land below chat entry line. Okay, so that's where you can find that. Okay, good to know. Catherine Ireland. Oh, hello, says Keck44. Molecular Art says Aucause. So is that a combination of Australia and Canada? Aucause? Maybe? Unnecessary roughness. Yes, that is the movie with Scott Bakula.
Yeah.
And there's an Australian rules player in there that comes and tries to play American football rules without the equipment, and he gets concussion after concussion, I believe, if I recall. Tony's channel says Molecular Arts.
It's posted already.
And Ploxard posts it right there. And I've now made Ploxard a moderator, so you can post whatever the fuck you want in there. I've known Ploxard for years.
Rich,
Literally, I don't even know what you look like, but I've literally known Ploxard for probably going on 3 years now, which is crazy. Same with Molecular Arts. I know I've seen Molecular Arts for at least 3 years and doing
Molecular Arts is a good dude. He's always there on that inverse face lever whenever I'm like manning the tertiary generator, and by manning I mean trying to put out the fire.
Yep. And Tech 44 says, thank you for the wrench, Spider Dude. Wow, haha. No, there's no obligation. It's just that you know the rule. You've been around, so if you see anything that's not kosher, you're not obligated to, but if you feel the need to, you can
bonk him on the head.
Ploxard. Same with you, Ploxard. I mean, I've known you for probably going on 3 years now. Boobies. Yeah, boobies.
Bobies.
Molecular Arts. Those are soccer balls. Apparently. He asked, confirmed. Oh, Cac. Yeah, we knew it. As soon as you went after the boobies, man, we knew it. And it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So Cac 44 says in the chat, Tony, if you wouldn't mind.
Which one?
This one that's on the screen right now.
Well, no. Which impression is excellent?
Whichever one you did earlier.
I said to him, I'm talking like Hank Hill there, but I'm going to talk like Early Kyler. Woo! I tell you about the time you met Jesus, Granny. Oh, I met Jesus, all right. I said, I'm down in the five and dime. I said, oh, yes, take me, Lord. Damn it, woman, we don't need to be talking about Jesus like that. No, damn. Oh, yeah, Jesus. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I feel comfortable talking to this with the preacher, Granny. I think this is, I don't think it's safe for YouTube either. What do you think, Daddy? I think that woman needs to hurry up and die.
Oh, my good God.
There's my Squidbillies. And this impersonation was about Squidbillies. But I think he was talking about my this feller. This guy right here? Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
That's the one he was talking about. That guy right there.
Yep, that's the one.
Yep.
How long you been working on that impression?
Hank? No, I've had Hank since before that. I had Hank since he was Tom Anderson. The first two voices I ever learned how to do was Beavis and Butthead.
No kidding. Okay.
The way back when times.
League. So Molecular Arts is a fan of rugby league as opposed to rugby union. So, and there's it's been a while since I've lived in Australia, but let me bring this back. And I've had a few to drink and I've had a few to smoke, but I believe rugby union is more popular in Queensland, and the neighboring state, New South Wales, is more popular. Rugby league is more popular with them, and it's a big rival. They have like a State of the Union contest, which lasts for a couple of days, and there's a lot of people fighting and getting drunk and so forth. And yeah,
rugby things.
League. Molecular Arts is a big fan of rugby league. Molecular Arts also says, I used to be field hockey goalie in high school. Yes, field hockey. Yes. Or you can run out of bounds because you're not walled in. Yes, okay, sure. Queensland is the Florida of Australia. That is actually true. Although you don't get the stories of Florida man. Have you seen those
Queensland? Just Queensland bloke.
No, you don't get the Queensland bloke went and shagged an alligator using 2 wombats as contraception. You don't see that. Oddly enough. Although people would pay money to see that.
Sure. What you got there? Dun, dun, dun,
A
dun,
wombat.
dun, 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 dun. Good day, good day, good day, good day, good day.
Later. Oh, Ploxart. Oh, good to have you here, Ploxart. Thanks for coming. Molecular Arts says night. Oh, good night, Molecular Arts. It is quite late. This is 2:32. I'm not usually up this time of night. It's just, we had a fire, and I'm trying to burn down the. See, we chopped a lot of wood, and from wood you get a lot of scraps, and so we're burning it in the driveway. And neighbors just showed up. And the party started from there. And Keck44 says GN Joe. What's GN Joe?
Good
Tony?
night, Joe, for when Joe's atmosphere left.
Oh, duh.
I feel like I need some libations so that I could be confused alongside you. Hold on a moment.
This is not coffee in my.
We've covered that.
Red wine. We did.
Now, do I want?
I had deja vu as I said that, so yeah.
Does Mr. Stark want a little moonshine or does he want a little bourbon? I'm thinking.
But you're not on your channel, so you can drink whatever. Hello. Where's Cat Infinity? I thought he would pop on. He was here.
Oh, by the way, Cat Infinity has given me full permission to do Drunk Pappy for you at a moment's notice. All you got to do is ask.
Awesome.
You know what I mean, right?
Yes, I do. Drunk Pappy.
So let me go ahead and make it official. Let me throw a couple of ice cubes in the tumbler here.
I heard that. Those sound delicious.
Well, I got to drink the Tony tested Doomcock approved. If I'm going to drink any bourbon, it'll at the very least be Elijah Craig small batch.
I've never tried that. You know what? I'm gonna come. If you've got a couch, I'm gonna crash on your couch for a night. And
come down to Kentucky, man. We'll show you how to do things down here in the holler.
All right.
Go hang out with me. We'll go fishing.
All right.
Go hunting.
Ploxart is still here. Ploxart has not gone tonight. Ploxart says Persephone.
Hey,
Yes.
you hear that? Those ice cubes stand no chance. Hear that? Mm-hmm. Snap,
I
crackle,
do
pop,
hear
baby.
that. No, you're gonna melt the shit out of those. Ploxart says Persephone. Now that was the star of the show called Beachcombers, and the Persephone was the ship, the boat, the tugboat that Nicodonidus used.
I don't have
persimmon. Well, that's a sweet yellow orange fruit. That's a little different. Persimmons are. Cough. Do you know what that means?
Cough of no.
I have no idea what that reference is.
I have no idea, Morty. Oh, jeez.
Ploxart, have I departed? Last check. President accounted for. Oh,
President accounted for.
Only because. Sorry, Ploxart. I didn't mean to question your presence or non-presence, but I thought you. Let me find it. I thought Ploxart said good night. No, okay.
It was good night to Joe, who had left.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
All right. Some of us may be under the influence.
I'm about to be. And because when I pour a tumbler, I empty a tumbler. Then I pour another tumbler. That way I get the most out of my eyes.
And I smoked 2 joints before I smoked 2 joints. So.
And then you smoke 2 more joints.
2 more? Oh, yes. The man knows his shit, chat. The man knows his
speaking of the man, there's a particular individual that I want to give a minor homage to.
Not the bees. Yes.
He goes like this. He goes, everybody you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear. All you have to do is listen. Oh, what's this? Some vodka with my name on it? Oh, how gouge. Oxenol. Oh, no. Hello, Deckard. Picard, how are you? You're both skin jumps. Toaster.
Sounds about right.
Oh, yeah.
You know Deckard's human, right?
Deckard's a human. Yes. It's Gauche that talk about other replicants, though. Doomcock.
Sounds about right.
He's Doomcock wears a mask. He's a coward.
What was that shit talking about our liege? Doomcock wears a mask because he would get fucked up otherwise.
He says Doomcock wears a mask, makes him a coward because he doesn't show his face.
Doomcock's been saying shit that no one wanted to say for years.
Well, he doesn't. He wears a mask, so I can take
Doomcock
pot shots
was
at him when I have drunk tweets.
Zorro wears a mask too. So does Batman, motherfucker.
I know. I remember. I was the guy that started the masks out for.
Oh no, I'm talking to RMB. I'm not talking to you.
Sorry, I had to break character for that. That's gouge.
Batman wears a mask. Even Spider-Man wears a mask.
Now, which Spider-Man you talking about? You know, there's replicates of him too.
American Spider-Man. There's Canadian Spider-Man. There's Italian Spider-Man. Apparently, there's a Quebec Spider-Man.
That explains a lot of it.
Oh my God! We have a special guest, a famous guest star.
Famous. Good grief.
Stephen Rance.
What in tarnation?
What are you doing up at this hour? It's well into the wee hours.
And
what time is it? Oh yeah, 2:30 in the morning. Yeah. Well, this has been my life recently. Has been in the wee hours. I guess you could call it a regression. I was born at 11:21 p.m. And my best artwork was always done when I was a teenager, going into my 20s. Some of my best artwork was always done in the wee hours, and I had a spiff of that. Like I got a 2-week vacation, which was unprecedented in my life at that time. And I spent the whole time at a single cafe because it was open 24 hours, just drawing. And I generated something like 15 or 20 illustrations, and I sold like 75% of them at that place in a private gallery opening of all the stuff I had drawn there. And it's the wee hours, man. I could say that there's a possibility that the wee hours offer that level of creativity because most of the human race in close proximity is asleep. And their consciousness is contributing on whatever scale we're allegedly contributing on when we're conscious is in a dream state. So they're participating in a more plastic realm in reality because of the percentage of people asleep at that time. So I think it kind of leaves a little psychic flexibility, I guess, and you could draw creativity out of that. It's probably why late night comedy shows are so successful.
All right, starting with Letterman and Leno, and absolutely.
Was that impersonation good for you, Spider-Man, or I need to keep going?
Nope, that was perfect.
Excellent.
That was awesome. I don't know how you keep character for that long, really. To be honest.
Man, you should have seen. You were there for my Death Clock stream, weren't you? I sang and was Death Clock for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. So there's some secondary Twitter Doomcock. That's not you, is it, Tony?
What? Who's the secondary Twitter Doomcock?
There's a secondary Doomcock on Twitter that ain't Doomcock.
I'm not Doomcock. Why would you accuse me of being?
No, I didn't accuse. I'm just I like. Do you know anything about it? I have no.
I know that there's fake Doomcock accounts that appear on YouTube from time to time to talk about.
No, this is a full-on Twitter account. Yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that is not me. I am not. I
it
like
kind of looks.
Myself.
It looks like it's an homage. It's an homage.
Oh yeah. Okay. So there's that a skinning, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
And
there's very few people that have.
But I'm not Doomcock good.
No. Well, I'm not convinced, but okay.
Like
I'm totally good.
I'm not Doomcock good. Doomcock has what we call practice and experience. I'm just throwing shit into the wind.
Like we're gonna find out. Like it's actually Tony Randall. Like Doomcock is fucking Tony Randall.
Man,
He does
I gotta-
sound like Tony Randall. That's the fucked up part.
And he's
You
got
know,
the power. He's got all the variety. Like Tony Randall can do anything, man. Like, dude, I'm gonna add wood to the fire.
Yes.
when the whole prequels thing was going down, that's kind of when I joined the whole YouTube crowd. Was
Yeah.
because I was looking for corroboration. Like, I really did think I had lost it, right? Because some people around me were giving mixed opinions, and I thought I knew the movie, and then I saw it again, and I was like, no, there's something seriously wrong here, right? And I got into YouTube, and that's where I discovered a lot of these guys. And all of a sudden, this guy was talking about exactly what I was thinking, but he was wearing a gigantic helmet, and he had this, and he was in the center of the earth, and he had Cthulhu contained in a vessel, and it completely blew my mind, Tony. I mean, I grew up with like Captain Kangaroo and Mr. Rogers, so to see a Mr. Rogers level of supervillain talking to me, talking to the fandom with such clarity, it completely blew my mind, man. I never looked back after that. It's like YouTube became the only channel in my life.
I tell you, man, I sometimes get these like interferences throughout my late streaming here lately. Apparently, the squid got out because Gary Ambrosia decided to put an explosive on a birthday cake, and now half the freaking core is shot. And I guess who has to take the WD-40 and the duct tape and the TIG welder and the pop riveter and a wing and a fucking prayer and go down the ladder about a few thousand miles and then go, okay, can somebody toss me a wrench? God. I picked the hardest ministry of his empire to maintain.
It boggles my mind that the lore has grown so deep that there are actually, you could almost draw a map of the actual location that he's in.
Does anybody know Doomcock's age?
See, this is exactly what I mean. Would somebody please
He was
wiki
born
all of this
in
stuff?
Prussia. I think he was born in Prussia in the late 1800s. He is well over a century old.
I was gonna say that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I would bet that he knew the father of the Cagliostros.
Well, I think he was abducted before that time because he was with some space dudes till about the 70s, late 60s, early 70s.
When was Dr. Evil's father alive?
Ooh.
We can ask him. Hello.
Hello, Dr. Evil. How are you tonight, by the way?
But I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Canadian Spider-Man? I don't have a Scotty to shush here today, but I feel like you'll do just fine. Zip it. Zip, 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 zip it. You wanted to ask me a question, Stephen Ransom?
Yes. We were talking about Doomcock and how old he is. What period of time was your father living in?
My father was born in 1929. He was born in Berlin, and
Many of the good ones are
conceived by
Berlin.
my mother, a gypsy with web.
And good pretzels.
We did have very good pretzels. Yes, he was
Berlin has good pretzels.
Yes. I don't think that. See, we have similar technologies, the individual in the hollow earth. However, I would not be petting an eldritch god like I pet my kitty cat. That's a no-no.
No. And don't go anywhere near the nether region.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere near that particular region of the planet.
No.
See, some idiot decided to have a big baby fit and blow up Manhattan Island, which Evil Corp Tower happened to be in. So I'm stuck here in the radiation with the mutants and everything else. Tony Stark.
Well, didn't they close up the Bob's Big Boy in Manhattan, and that's why you couldn't have an escape plan?
There is a wall around it, and I believe that it is of Cybertronian make, but I have to ask that asshole. It keeps the radiation out of Queens because Lord knows if it got out into Queens, Admiral Teague would have my ass. So,
And you don't want that. No.
Ploxard is recommending the exclusive interview with
Yes.
Dr.
Can I-
Doomcock.
Can I put this up and you can read it? There. Go ahead.
Exclusive interview with Overlord Dictor Van Doomdick Snyder Cut edition at start bracket Midnight's Edge end bracket. That's like old computer talk. HTTPS, that's semi older computer talk. www, definitely older than that.
Yeah.
.youtube.com /watch and some other gibberish. Possibly computer talk.
Yes, that definitely looks like some command code. Yeah.
It doesn't launch the missiles. Asking for a friend. It may or may not be Omnivac.
No, I think it does launch the missiles now that you mention it. Yeah.
I think that code at the end is a server location.
Okay.
Probably a lot like
Then I suggest
minutes and hours in navigation.
Everybody
right?
needs to click that link, is what we're saying, so that we
Yes.
can get the missile codes.
Well, how do you
And-
know that we're not going to lead to like catastrophe if you do that?
Well, I can tell you one thing that might actually lead to catastrophe. The link that Keck put up about from Papa Cotton, that might lead to some major climaxes.
Now, the last time I had to deal with the words major and climax in the same sentence is when I stole Austin's mojo.
Yeah.
So, do you think it's possible that your father met Doomcock in his early career?
I believe he may have sold him a pretzel, yes. When he was very young. Because now that I think about it, I do recognize that family crest. They had a very large foreboding castle on the border between Russia and Hungary.
Ooh.
And it was there that they did all kinds of weird things. I think they were all silently brooding, much like the Wayne family.
I've always been of the opinion that the pretzel is actually a monogram of the double-headed eagle.
I don't know about all of that. That sounds like some Warhammer 40K stuff.
It was invented in Bavaria, right?
That symbol is all over that region. As far north as like Sweden and Finland.
Look at Clockstar checking on my facts, yo. Listen, I'm Dr. Evil too, okay? I love it when people talk about me, though. Maybe that's the reason why he does what he does over on Overlord DVD. I love it when people talk about me. All right.
By the way, hello, chat.
Hello to the chat. It is a wonderful chat. It is a deliciously evil chat.
Yep.
Canadian
Better than a fruitcake.
Spider-Man. Dr. Evil 2, the sequel. Or
Yes.
prequel or threequel. How awesome would it be to have a threequel, but call it Dr. Evil 2? The confused masses would go insane. It's delicious.
That's
Ploxard,
evil.
your
That's
genius
just
is
you're
excellent.
wrong. That's just wrong.
No, it's evil.
That is sick. I like it.
Thank you. I've noticed a couple of Avengers have been hanging out with super villains, and I think it's kind of weird. Now, I could, ask another individual what it all means, but then he would probably drink what little alcohol I have left, berate his grandson, and then step through a green portal.
Ooh.
Not a good move.
It would be very bad.
Stephen Ransom, would you mind reading Ploxard?
Dr. Evil's adopted father had been Dutch.
Dutch.
What does that
Wait.
mean?
He's Dutch, as in
What
I think it's pretty
mean?
straightforward. Papa Cotton always has a good ending. It's true. It is very, very true. Especially with that material. Highly recommended, by the way.
Okay.
A most delicious
Let me pack my pipe and carry on.
avatar in different, well manicured Spider-Man costumes. It's bodacious, I guess you could say.
I want to have a pedicure for my Wolverine costume.
That might be difficult. You would have to use adamantium clips, right?
We have nth metal just lying around here. I think we could take it.
Oh, nth metal, of course.
That's how you cross the streams, yo.
So seriously, Dr. Evil, it's like, what's your dating life like these days? I mean,
I've
I guess-
decided that as being a narcissist, I have decided that there's only one logical conclusion. And simply because there's things on Disney Plus that have alluded to the fact that you can date yourself as long as she doesn't have a penis. So I have decided to use my cloning technology to instead create me a spouse who just happens to talk and act just like me. Say hi, honey. Hello. So actually, we're married. And by that, I'm married to myself. Would you consider that masturbation? I don't know. I'm not a freaking scientist.
You know, and that's just like the Mad Doctor in Nightmare Before Christmas, right? He divides his own brain and puts it into another body, and it becomes
Yeah, but then
his
you're
wife.
only having the fun half the time between two people.
Well, I'm just saying it's a similar trope. I mean, I've seen doctors do this before.
Yes.
Frankenstein, of course, with the bride.
You do realize that the name is pronounced incorrectly.
What is?
I'm from the old country. It's pronounced Frankenstein.
Oh, sorry, sir. Apologies.
It's okay.
I had a similar problem and almost died in a bar because I ordered drinks with the wrong fingers.
Of course. It happens all the time. We call this cultural appropriation. Hello, Canadian Spider-Man. Are you
Hello.
enjoying my content?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
And by appropriation, he means inappropriate behavior that has been appropriated.
By others.
Propagated, prostrated,
Inappropriately.
and prolapsed. Wait, what?
Well, I mean, that's
I'll repeat myself. Propagated, prostrated, and prolapsed. You're welcome.
Indeed. Indeed. Cloning
Prolapse.
is the future of
Wow,
partnership, I think.
Exactly.
Clockster
You're either
said,
very
hail to
compatible
the
with
panel,
each other.
Dr. Threecall.
Yes.
Not sure what I understand that. Hey, panel dudes. Hey, Keck. We're stealing terrain hidden in plain sight. Yeah. You know what's the scariest is when actors that have always played good guys all of a sudden play a bad guy. Scares the shit.
Mhm.
Michael Keaton, for example. Yeah, scares the shit out of me.
I'm trying to think. That was kind of the thing. I think Henry Fonda played a very, very wicked man in a.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What movie was that though? It was of course a western, but he played
Yeah.
it. He played a dark black hat in one that if I remember he's famous for. And John Wayne kind of did the same thing in True Grit, but he became redeemable in the end.
He was anti-hero, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that's right. Yeah.
That was Dr. Evil, everybody.
Always a pleasure, Dr. Evil.
I
Thank
don't know
you for
what
coming
you
on.
had to pay Dr. Evil for his presence, but thank you for that, Tony.
He owes me actually because
I was
I saved him. See, whenever I went nuclear, I gave him a heads up because I figured my credibility with other supervillains notwithstanding, can't just go around killing all the bad guys, or else the big bad guy in the center of the earth might ask me if I'm going back to being a good guy,
Mhm.
and we really can't have that. But I'm not a bad guy. I'm just a bad guy.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just drawn that way.
just need some work. Go.
Bad.
Roger Rabbit. And Ploxert in the chat says, sharpen the claws with slabs of unobtainium. The best element out there.
Hmm.
Stephen Ransom, would you mind please reading this?
I hear a rumor that the Earth drill has returned from the below the crust, and his unobtainium hull might not have a panel or 3 missing.
Oh,
Yeah,
not half.
I haven't read that. I have it in my watch list. I'm going to check it
Okay.
out later.
Now there is the main conveyance
That's
to the
interesting.
Hollow Earth is atomic drill cars provided
Ah,
by Doomcock. So
Nice.
whenever the thing is there's many locations across the globe that people have to meet at in order to join him at Xanadu for his Friday celebration. And yeah, but that's not my department, thank God. If I was Doomcock, Department of Traffic and Internal Commerce, I don't think I'd get anything done.
I think I want to see like one of those Star Trek, Starfleet manual kind of books, you
Yeah.
know, or like the who's who of the Marvel universe where they do
Technology,
detailed
yeah.
shots. You know what I mean?
With the
I-
cutaways and the,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. The Jerry
Martin
Anderson
Steele.
cutaway illustrations of every vehicle and conveyance and where it's located on the map, right?
I can tell you how it looks underneath the panels. It's like a Rube Goldberg machine underneath the panels at Harvey's Field, with all the duct tape and the strings holding the pipe together.
Did you just say Rube Goldbrick machine?
Yeah, Rube Goldberg machine. Yes,
You actually know what that is.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have. You know, see how it
Boomer
works.
statement. That's a daddy comment.
You know. It's like you got a hamster running on a wheel. Occasionally, Sabu, will run on that wheel, and then we have to get a new hamster because being that he's a prehistoric squirrel, he rends it asunder, and then there's a lot of duct tape, a lot of WD-40, a hell of a lot of caulk in the piping. But
I'm getting 12 Monkeys vibes.
It's very much. I mean, it's a Rube Goldberg machine. Every time we fire that bad boy up, I think about that scene in Pee Wee Herman and his big adventure with making breakfast. The only difference is unlike that machine, this one will shoot you, and then the whole universe whenever it finishes. So, thankfully, Doomcock built it. I just maintained the damn thing.
I got you.
Moving on.
Translating.
Is translating. Harvey must remain on best behavior. Yeah, we'll hope so. Thank you, Dr. Evil. That was an awesome impression. Thank you, Tony, for managing to coerce or entice or however you managed to.
It owes me $5. You're looking too deep into it.
There you go. Or says, I'm pro Harvey. Push the button. Do it. I knew Keck was pro Harvey. I fucking knew it.
I can't allow that.
Knew it, Keck.
Jarvis tells me it's 6 o'clock here. Drink to that, yeah?
And
it's 3 a.m. You're in New York, aren't you? It's 3 a.m. in Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Same here, buddy.
Just burning the wood.
Where are you, Stephen Ransom? Are you in LA?
Yep. Just turned 301.
It's turning
I hope
to
you're not in
ash.
Los Angeles, are you? Really?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
Got
In-
to
In a
carbonize
part that's
all of
not
it.
too crazy, hopefully.
The woods.
What is it? I'm sorry. What is that a question?
Yeah, well, okay.
I'm hearing reports from like the backwoods of Tennessee, and they're having people break into their backyard, and they can't be charged with anything because the way they broke in didn't break anything. So there's nothing to charge them with. Like that. And where's Wacky? Where isn't Wacky nowadays?
Oh, man.
For crying out loud, chicken factories are going into flames, and
we've had a slogan here where I live. Harvey's trying to take over Tony Stark. Oh shit!
It's a mental attack. Shield yourself, Tony. Use your will.
What's going on? The only thing I can think about right now is hot boobies and hot dogs and beer for some reason.
Stay on track,
That's
Tony.
Harvey. That's Harvey.
what?
Take over you.
Who? I don't know this Harvey guy. I don't know who you're talking about.
Stephen, the only thing that we have a slogan around here, and it's been around for 100 years.
Over 1 million years.
Well, over 100.
Over 1 million.
Shoot, shovel, shut up.
Hell yeah. That's a World War I mantra.
No, if we have any troublemakers here, shoot, shovel, shut up.
Well, that's also the thing they used to say when they dug trenches: shoot, shovel, shut up.
Yep. That's what you do.
Yeah, we look at the mob nowadays but we misunderstand the nature we see in the Hollywood films. If you were to just re-costume any mob movie in Roman garb, 16th century garb, right? Anywhere on the planet, they would be doing exactly the same thing. Japan, India, Africa. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Human nature is human nature. Equity is demanding it, and equality proves it, right? Human nature has shown to us that, we will endeavor, right? We will carry on. We like doing this as a species, right?
Yes.
We're not going anywhere. We're not planning on giving up tomorrow anytime soon. So,
never
this
give up.
mobster mentality is just
computer
micro government, right? It's micro governing. You would go out on a hunting party and somebody starts screwing around, or everybody knows that you're screwing around with this guy's mistress, and you're messing around with everybody. You're screwing up the whole nature of the camp.
Right.
You're wasting food.
Yes.
You're not very good on the hunt. And oops, that dude fell off a cliff, and nobody even thinks twice about it because nobody liked him in the first place.
That's right. There's no investigation.
That was mental health care.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Cheers to the progression of mental health care. At least it ain't shock therapy. Fuck.
Well, we're just doing exactly the same thing. It just so happens that it's becoming such a mass in society that we're not dealing with that they're going to drag us over a cliff anyway. Right?
You're not wrong.
I mean, they're preaching it in the streets, kill it if you must, is being said about our friggin' legends, seriously.
Tony, can you say this in a funny accent, please?
Hold on, let me pick up a character. We want an impersonation? Why not Zoidberg? Travolta has stated that he would not play an antagonistic role until he had aged enough. This is due to the other actors successfully doing such. Hooray, I helped!
Thank you, Zoidberg.
I am a
Thank
doctor.
you, Zoidberg.
Yes.
Thank you, Zoidberg.
Hooray!
It says in the chat, Rube Goldberg, a hero in absurdity.
Damn right.
Well, and he lives on. Like, intellectuals know who he is, and I don't count myself amongst them. I don't.
You are intellectual enough to know who Rube Goldberg is.
Well, yeah, but I'm not an intellectual.
How old are you again?
51.
Okay, you are old enough to know who Rube Goldberg is. You know how old I am?
30.
39.
Ooh.
So the fact that I know who
you're
Rube Goldberg
entering
is,
the best years. The 40s are awesome. You can get away with so much shit.
I know, man. Midlife crisis. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. I used to think it was cool to say those are your Han Solo years, but I no longer respect the character at all.
No. Those are your Captain Kirk years, sir. Get it right.
Fucking rights. Although, honestly, I feel the 50s are fucking even better, but we'll see.
Canadian Spider-Man, I'm not telling you what to do, but decelerate on your level of libation or else you'll be passing out by your fire, possibly in it.
No, I think I've got to pull her to, we're going to go do some shit tomorrow. I got to pull her together in about 10 minutes here. Yeah, no, I've been drinking a lot of red wine. Red wine's the way to go, folks.
Red wine.
Yes.
Stick close.
Thank you for joining us. So in the last 10 minutes of the show,
Huh?
we've covered a lot of topics.
Yeah, we've been kicking the bucket around.
There's Stephen Ransom.
I just chugged a tumbler of bourbon and it's all wrapping up. Sad days. Sad days.
You're not like you're not. You know, a lot of people have their Star Wars focus or their Star Trek focus. Stephen Ransom, you don't have. Do you have a dedicated franchise that you're advocating? Pop culture in general.
You know, at this point, looking back on what I've done over the last year plus, you know, since lockdown, basically, I just found myself on one stream and said, like, oh, that wasn't so hard. Let me try that again. And then a couple of people coaxed me along and just said, dude, if they put a link in the chat, man, just push that button.
That's
like,
yeah.
Don't even think about it. Just do it, right? Let them make the decision not to let you on.
Yeah.
Right? And that was it. And then the ball got rolling. I showed up on one stream, talked to this guy, Roman of the Empire, and he got me onto his channel on a regular basis. And then I got onto PJ Maybe's channel, and that's where I met.
That's it. You just click
Captain
on the link, and
Infinity.
all of a sudden, you know, you're a YouTuber.
Yeah, it's like, and then all of a sudden, while you're talking, other people mention other chats, and people in the chat are actually channel owners, right? And they want you on as well. So it's, and then the ball just gets rolling. But looking back on all of that, I've always been a mediator, not a negotiator, a mediator.
I understand.
Doing my utmost to try and understand both sides of the argument, to offer a kind of lulls ladder. Like, we can figure this out, guys.
As opposed to a Jacob's ladder.
Yeah, there was this guy Lull had this thing. It was kind of like the way chess was supposed to solve world politics. Like if two kings, you know, that was a philosophical utopian construct, like that you played several chess tournaments, like the way maybe two guys in a pool hall might settle an argument that they had been having all month. And like, guys, whoever wins this pool game, that's it. You guys stop talking about this shit. I'm done with it, right? And like that's how something would get settled by mass agreement. So I've always been that kind of person, and I noticed that it became more and more necessary to talk on the notion of we need to stop talking about what they want us to talk about.
That's it.
We need to start talking about stuff that's actually good and relevant. Why we like it.
Yes.
Not necessarily because we want to promote the material, but because anybody who watches the video that doesn't know what we're talking about will see the excitement in our eyes and want to capture it for themselves.
Yes. Great Scott.
Yeah. I tell you what, Marty, he's onto something. Oh, yeah, Doc. Yeah, totally onto it. Stephen Ransom, everybody.
So that's what I've been doing, is offering that.
Would you mind reading this from Foxford?
Individuals who are less than easy to blend into are often placed upon the front lines as spear point. Yeah.
Because pikemen die first, and pikemen is the easiest role to do in ancient warfare. And they want to put the people that are smarter than the officers on the front line so that the officers can stay in their tents.
That's true.
So yeah, put that smart ass motherfucker on the front line.
Floxer continues with a further comment. Please refrain from placing oneself within the campfire. Well, I do have spidey intuition and reflexes, but okay. All right. I might not be appreciative enough for such a spectacle. So you don't want to visualize me on fire, and I appreciate that. I don't want to be on fire. Tony, would you
important safety note? Thank you, chat.
Yes, thank you, chat. We're wrapping it up here. It's 3:15. I've got to go to bed. The fire's dying. Tony, would you please? The
nuclear powered drill car might be modeled after the cyclotram in Unknown World, the year of our Lord 1951. Ta-da! See the spectacle of the atomic age.
I don't remember 1951. It would have been a cool year. I would have liked to have been But you know what? I was around in 81. I remember 81.
You got the touch.
It's crazy to think that something like the electric guitar was new, like brand freaking new, like iPad brand new.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what is this contrivance, you
Disney
mad
Shepherd from
scientist?
Finland.
God
Wow,
bless
I
you,
did
Disney
not know.
Sheepherder.
Cheers
Thanks for
to
the like and love.
Finland. They've got some good fucking hockey players. The Finns can play fucking hockey. Mad respect to you, Disney Shepherder.
What's up, Disney?
Hail, Disney Shepherder. Disney Shepherder says, busy brothers, but I'll lick the like. Thank you. Take care and be safe.
God bless you.
See? I appreciate the sentiment. I really do, and I understand the sentiment and the intention. And fuck being safe. Let's goddamn have some fun. Let's have some goddamn fun. Fuck safe up the ass with a cactus. Let's have some goddamn fun. Kids today have forgotten how to have fun. We've forgotten how to have. We're too worried about, oh, let's be safe. Everyone says when you leave their house, oh, be safe. They used to say, have a good night. Have fun. That's what they used to. Now they say, be safe. Fuck, be safe. Right up the ass. Right up the ass. Be safe. And that's not an intent on you, Disney Shepherd.
Stay on target.
I'm tired of being safe.
Stay
I
on
want to be a
target.
goddamn little bit dangerous. Let's be dangerous. Let's shoot some guns. Let's have some beers and go swimming. That's fucking right.
I haven't had a good old-fashioned drunk skinny dip since I was like
Yes.
29.
Take
Take
Fuck.
off your pants. Let's have some beers. Let's jump in the goddamn water.
Take
Be
off
safe.
your pants.
My
Dad.
mother, my father, my relatives, they all said, they finished the conversation. Be safe. Be safe, my ass. We're on this planet one time. We have one.
Drink and fight.
We have one
Drink
time.
and fight.
We have one. Drink and fight. Exactly.
Drink and fight. Drink and fight. Do it with the
Yeah.
ball. That door. Drink and fight. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I like punk music.
No, that's an awesome song.
Yes,
Drink and fight. Who sings that?
That is a song by, I believe.
It's a lot of wine. Poured on my lap.
Good job, Drunky.
Right?
Drink and Fight, I think, was a Dropkick Murphys song.
Yes! Dropkick Murphys from Boston. Shout out to those guys. And
Yeah.
honestly, Steven Ransom, I figured you were from Boston. I don't know what it's your attitude.
He's got a Queens-ish accent.
Right?
He reminds me of Teague.
I thought you were Boston.
Born Hempstead, New York, South Shore, Long Island.
I knew you had a yokel accent.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, he's from New Jersey, eh?
I'm from the holler. We call it the holler down here. But
Shout out.
whenever Doomcock
Tri-state area.
muses about Pappy Van Winkle, and I go, "Hey, I can get you some." Never hit me back.
Shepherd says in the chat, "Boozy brothers, but I'll lick the like." I think he means boozy brothers.
Bourgeoisie, brother.
I think
No, he's busy. We appreciate that. Thank you.
I usually say on the live stream walkabout, because that's what I'm doing. Just stopping by people's houses, dropping
Canadian
off.
Spider-Man. Shall I sing us out with something?
Can you it's time to go to bed. I just pulled myself a full glass of wine. Gotta drink this and go to bed, folks.
But I will.
How about this old ditty?
Steven Ransom,
See
I
ya,
want to know.
see ya. Hope
are
you
you
have a
up to
good
the power?
time. Da-da. Hope you have a good
I can
morning.
sing us a song. I don't care to sing us a song.
Okay, I got you, Ploxard.
I mean, everybody knows
Ploxard's been around for a long time, man. I get the feeling it's a dude, but I'm not sure. But anyway, Ploxard, mad respect.
Mad respect to
Incredible.
Blockserd.
Yeah.
I'm glad he hangs out with everybody.
No,
He really does.
he's one of he's.
I
he's
see him
an
on Chills. I
intellectual
see him
forward.
here. I see him at
Maybe
my
a shoe.
stream. My
These
dumb
shoes,
little show.
they're an intellectual. They know what's going on. Or at least they're sober. They're sober more than us.
Well, I mean, I'm still sober enough to sing some Frankie. I mean,
Really? Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna sing us out. I figured.
All right.
Yeah,
Can you do it, please?
I can do it. I can do it. I can do it a cappella.
And thank you. Before we leave, Stephen Ransom, if you want to put your details in the chat, I've got 180 subscribers, so probably not gonna do you much favors, but please feel free to.
I got 190. Maybe 10 of mine will come over here and hang out with you.
Maybe. I see. I don't. Yeah, I'm just in here for the enjoyment. I'm here to meet people like yourself, Tony. Honestly.
Well, before I sing this
If
song,
I come to New Jersey, we're gonna have a beer.
we're gonna have several, and then I'm gonna drive.
No, Jarvis will drive. We'll be in the back seat.
This is me not giving you a hug, but totally giving you a hug. We're gonna recreate that scene.
Man, I need you here helping stoke the fire.
I'm
you,
actually
buddy?
pretty good. I'm actually pretty good.
Come
camping.
over.
That's a fucking drive, dude. That's like $600 worth of gasoline, dude.
I'm within an hour of Kelowna Airport. So if you can find
I
Kelowna,
ain't renting no car.
Kelowna International Airport.
Man.
Kelowna International Airport.
I'd have to get a passport. I'd have to rent
I'm
a
literally
car.
giving you my location.
You know, I'd have to get a passport. I'd have to rent a car. I'd have to do all that shit, man.
It's going to take you a year in Canada to get a passport.
Yeah, no shit. So, I mean, you're going to have
all
to
right, I'll come
south
see.
to
Fuck it,
border.
I'll come see. As long as you got good barbecue, I'll come see you.
Good barbecue?
Yeah.
Fucker, I got a fucking Grill Master propane fucking grill.
All right, I gotta go to sleep. We're gonna call this.
Can I sing?
Yeah.
Can I sing it?
Carry us out. Unless Stephen Ransom, do you have anything to say?
No, I'm good to go, man. Let's sing us out. You boys need to get some rest.
I'll do this.
I gotta say, Stephen Ransom, you're one of the most chill guys on YouTube. You're welcome here anytime, my friend.
Hey, man, I served on the captain's bridge, man. I know how to get chill.
It clearly shows. Tony, can you sing us out? And I'll end the broadcast on Tony singing us out.
All right. Well,
Thanks
I mean, I'm going to
for
sing
being
us
here,
out.
everybody.
I'm going to sing us out,
Please
and I want
subscribe
the whole
to Stephen
song to go
Ransom.
through.
Tony Stark of Iron, please subscribe to them.
I'm going to sing us
I
out.
think the only two people watching are like the two of us in here, like me and Tony. Or something.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and sing us out, and I'm going to sing the whole song. I will sing it at a scale.
I'm going to do the Benny Hill.
No. It's Frankie. I'm going to sing. I'm going to croon for us if you
Oh.
let me. Yeah.
Okay. I do like Benny Hill.
Well, maybe next time for Benny Hill. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll make it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and much more than this. I did it my way.
Wow.
Regrets? Yeah, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do. I saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, Scotty, each careful step along the byway, and much more than this. I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spat it out. I faced it all and I stood tall and did it my way.
Nice.
What is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way.
Wow. That's wow. Amazing.
I would never be.
No,
I'd never be able to get away with that in my apartment right
No.
now. Singing it like
Well
that?
done.
No way. No way.
There you go.
Do you have a lot of neighbors, Stephen? How do you stream? No question. How do you ever get like knocks at like shut the fuck up?
No.
Wait a tick. Did Canadian Spider-Man just key that? Did you put a timestamp on that?
I don't even know how to do that. So
Live 221. Mike is muted. Remove Canadian Spider-Man. Remove Tony. What? Nani? Nandeska? Omewa mushindayo?
Nandeska? Yeah.
Nani sure?
Whoa!
Oh, because I tried to post a link. I tried to post my link
You
on
speak
the
Japanese,
stream.
Tony.
It's Daniel. Hi. Sugoi desu. Sugoi desu ne.
But
It is Sugoi. It is amazing. I see
Arigato.
now I'm torn. Do you actually speak it, or did you just memorize some fucking fascinating phrases?
Arigato gozaimasu.
Oh, okay, you speak it. Okay, all right. Yeah, Stephen, thanks for being here. Tony, I want to do a stream entirely in Japanese with you.
Okay.
Yeah. Nihongo ga
Nihongo
suwai.
ga
Okay, so we're gonna do an entire Japanese stream. I gotta go to sleep. It's freezing and it's cold, and I gotta wake up in 3 hours and go cut down.
Man, you're gonna have such a no. What you need to do is drink like at least a half gallon of water before you even lay down, and take a piss first. Hydration.
So I've been alive for 51 years. I'm on top of it. Stephen Ransom, man, I respect you. Thanks for coming on.
no problem, man.
Well,
I'm only
now
a
you
few
know.
years your senior.
No, this guy, like people know his name, man. He's been around.
It's crazy, right? It's nuts.
Thank you.
It's just
Canadian
completely
Spider-Man,
bonkers.
you now know that his lordship isn't the only one that can carry a note in front of a crooner mic.
Tony, you know what? You're disturbing is not quite right.
Uncanny?
Unique?
I would have took an uncanny.
Nah.
Irritating?
No, you're more
Asinine,
specialized.
narcissistic,
You're more
drunk.
specialized in that. It's more than that. All right. Anyway, thank you for very much, both of you.
More
We're gonna shut this shit
sexualized?
down. I'm 3 hours over time.
Okay.
Gonna say goodnight.
Do you play
I'm
your
so
anthem?
sorry to
I
keep
was
you.
just
Steve.
hoping someone would be awake, and
Please,
like I
please
said, I
don't
was
end the
work-
stream, please, Steve. Don't end the stream.
I was.
what do you mean, Stephen? Who's gonna command?
I'm teasing. It's reverse psychology. Get it done already.
Because I will authorize you to carry on. Like I have no problem
You
authorizing.
guys
you
want to
to
keep
stream.
it going? Shit.
Well,
I don't know if that's too.
I gotta move inside. It's too cold. Unless I light a lot of more. I burned down the shit in my driveway. I don't want to cause like an obstruction. Time is up. But if you want to keep streaming, Tony, we'll invade Tony's stream or Stephen Ransom's stream.
I'm not gonna be doing a stream right now because I've chugged 2 tumblers of bourbon. It would not be wise.
Ooh. Says you.
Insert. Get on with it.
All right, folks. Thanks for being here. Ploxard, you've been awesome. We are going to end this right now. Good night. Before this gets shitty. Good night.